Good evening. I am Carrie V. Dean, and welcome to another episode of A Dullard Speaking. Tonight, I'm speaking from a state of non confusion about the confusion that Donald Trump is stirring. He's slowly stirring the pot. He's going to get his war going. He doesn't care how, and he doesn't care where. He doesn't care if it's just a little internal warring going on civically or if it's an international war. He's going to have his war. And he's slowly stirring that pot, slowly to see who breaks first. See, he has to anger the other allies in UN allies into a frenzy so that one of them strikes America first so he can have an excuse for going to war. That's all he needs is for someone else to throw that first pebble so he can say, look, they threw a pebble, but we're going to throw a stone. um, he can feel it in his bones. And literally, he can feel it in his bones because uh, the man has no muscle. If it wasn't for all the fat in his body, his spine wouldn't stay erect. It is true. The man has no plans, but he has some definitely plans in the works that's going to be very beneficial down the line. Along with those concepts of a new healthcare that he still hasn't given us what those concepts are. Oh, remember that? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Half of your supporters didn't care about any of that. You were saying you were going to bring down inflation. And now that you haven't, and inflation's almost tripled, if not quadrupled, now they're saying, well, when are you going to bring down inflation? When are you going to bring down inflation? But when they were being told that during the campaign trails by the Dems, they were saying, oh, well, we don't believe you guys. You guys lie all the time. You guys are the ones that drove the inflation up. Really? Really? When the under the Dems, even though it wasn't a fully Democratic owned Senate or House, mostly Republican already, they were fighting just to get any policies through the House because Donald Trump had told all the Republicans not to vote on anything, cause a shutdown. He even went on his own Twitter account shouting about shutdown. Don't you dare move on that bill. You shut down the House. You, in case I get elected uh, as the newly to be sworn in president, uh, uh, just shut it down, so that I can come in. Then I can look like the good guy by getting you, calling you back early to vote on the bill and get it passed through. Well, when that didn't happen, oh, was that a letdown for him? So as soon as he was newly named elected winner of the presidential race, he started screaming about tariffs and his retributions through tariffs and how he was going to use tariffs to make the rest of the world pay for what they hadn't been paying for. And America has mostly been paying for. And the rest of the world has been only putting in pennies when America's been putting in dollars. And blah, 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 blah. The list and the blow art goes on and on and on with him. Um, how he was going to lower inflation from day one. Blah, 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 blah. Crashed the market twice just before he was inaugurated because he was screaming about how he was going to put tariffs on people and stuff. So they shied away. They start backing off on what they were ordering from the U.S. and accepting into their countries from the U.S. Oh, so he stopped talking about the tariffs for just a short while and saw the market came back up. But it was still under Biden's plan untouched. As soon as he got inaugurated and signed all those executive orders, the first thing on the order was to undo the act that would tackle inflation under Biden policies. First thing he did was undo all the departments, shadow departments put in place underneath the USDA and USAID, EPA, all the departments that were beneficial to the American people. He had Congress balance the budget by saying there would be $0 going to those departments. Fired federal employees to undermine departments that he couldn't just cut, so that he could say, well, they don't need that much money, and lessen the amount of money going to those departments. In some cases, zeroed those departments out so that they're only left with the monies that were still on the books for the department that had already been approved. But there would be no new monies put towards those departments. First couple, 2 or 3 executive orders, that's what it was. And then, of course, it was, oh, yes, release all the J6ers. I was like, okay. Now, if that had been a band of black people doing all that writing and stuff, you would have been with a bullhorn riding on top of the car, screaming, put all their asses in jail. Throw them out of the jailhouse. We won't even have to have graves for them. Let them die. Let them fester. Then they could be down in the sewage with the rest of the shit that's down there underneath the jailhouses. Yeah, he wouldn't have cared. But because they were white, oh no, they was just law-abiding people. No, didn't nobody beat up cops. No, police officers didn't die from injuries suffered during the insurrection. No, none of that happened. Oh, the woman that was shot, well, she was shot by the Capitol Police shooting at the peaceful protesters. Hmm. Well, the lady that got shot at the time was trying to bomb rush an already down Capitol policeman to hit him. With her sign. Think about that. Had she not been there, she wouldn't have gotten shot. Oh, there were several other protesters that got shot too, and this, that, and well, if they hadn't been bum rushing the house, they wouldn't have gotten shot. Oh, wait, but they were macing people. They were macing people. Well, it's my understanding the insurrectionists were carrying mace and macing the guards first. That's how they started the bum rush. Okay? Turning over a bike stand, pepper spraying a few of the guards and beat them down to the ground. Was stomping and kicking at them. But no, they were peaceful protesters. A couple of them jumped up on the Capitol wall siding there and started spray painting. Stop the steal. No, that was that. No. See, no, that's where you're wrong. That was the counter protesters that did that. That was the Democrats that did that. No. None of the magna none of the MAGA protesters did that. No. It. Oh no, Trump's not to blame for the insurrection. No. Well, that's a riddle within itself. If he's not to blame for the insurrection, who's the one that told them to stop the steal and come to the house to stop the steal and to block Joe Biden being able to get into the house? Who was saying all that stuff? Oh, that's right. It wasn't Trump. It was that other guy under Trump. Uh, no, it couldn't have been Mike Pence. Let's come up with another name. Who was it? Who was it? Oh yeah, that guy I sent to jail, Michael Cohen. Yeah, let's blame it all on him. And Nancy Pelosi and all those bad Democrats that are still in the House. Let's blame them because they're trying to impeach me and they're weaponizing the judicial system to do it. Oh, but I had nothing to do with it. I had nothing, absolutely. No, I'm not the leader. Well, if you're not the leader, then who was pushing your buttons to cause it? Oh, that's where it gets dicey, huh? Because now we don't see you as a leader because you said you weren't a leader. Oh, so now you come back and I'm proud to have led. Well, you're proud to have led, but you keep telling the court she didn't lead. Which is it? I see. Isn't that about the same thing Muss is trying to say about Hitler? Hitler wasn't the leader, but Hitler was a great leader? Well, hmm, those two things just don't jive. Either you're great at what you do or you're incompetent at what you do. I'm just saying, so far this year, all I've seen is the incompetence of your leadership. When are you going to become the leader that you keep proclaiming that you are? You still haven't come up with any actual concepts or a plan as a resource to rectify the free fall that's happening with our markets right now. You haven't come up with any policies to replace the policies that you cut that would help American citizens stay secure in their financial situations. That, thank you, you've practically put us in, whether we wanted to be in it or not. And again, the thing that really mystifies me is the American people are still paying taxes. Why are you still paying taxes? I'm sorry. We all need to do like they did way back when they overthrew the tea and stuff and said they weren't going to pay any more taxes or tariffs to Britain for tea. Okay? We need to go back. Since you want to go back, let's go all the way back. Let's go back to that. And we, the American people, because there's supposed to be a government of us, the American people, we need to tell them hardcore. His tariffs aren't working. And we're not going to pay the taxes that is inevitable for him to have to do on the American people in order to recoup all the money that he won't be taking from his billionaire buddies. Okay? You know it's coming. So let's stop trying to tell ourselves that no, he wouldn't do that because he's already doing it. He's already doing it. If you're recouping all this taxpayer dollars from programs that were unnecessary, you need to be returning those tax-paying dollars back to the American people so that we can use it to live and survive in America with all the high prices and inflation you've caused with your tariffs. Okay? You want to balance the budget? Zeroing out programs that were benefiting the American people to put back into the Defense Department, and you haven't decided what to do with the rest, is not balancing anything. Not in the everyday Americans' lives. You haven't balanced a damn thing. All you've done is just traded one expense for another. You want to balance it? You need to just strip the money altogether, turn it back to the states, and let the states come up with their own structural plan for funding education, for funding for disasters, and leave the federal government out of it. You keep saying you want less government. Well, we do too. We want to leave you feds to argue among yourselves. Okay? If you truly are patriots and believe in America, then you need to be putting some of them billions of dollars that you've extracted from the American people over all these years back into your budgets. Okay? And not into your pockets. What good is it for you to attain all that wealth and help no one? If the world could run on only wealthy people, there wouldn't be poor people in the world. Okay? Let's not get it twisted. Can't balance a budget when you don't want to attack the main problem. The real root problem is in taxes, in the disproportionate sliding scale you have on taxes. You want to make it equal and fair? Come up with a standard tax percentage individuals must pay at the end of the year, and businesses must pay at the end of the year. Come up with a standardized overall national blanket of taxes for sales. Okay, let's stop with all this little independent here, this, that, there on the taxes. If you're going to tax us fairly. If you're not going to tax us fairly, do away with taxes altogether. And then the state can collect what they want to repave the roads, to keep schools open, to keep hospitals open, to make sure there's enough funding to recover from a national disaster. Because definitely paying the money to the feds, you're never going to decide in favor of the people on what to do with the taxes. What's a good investment for all of you in Congress is not a good investment for those of us having to live in this country. Oh, well, you don't have to live here. You can always go back to wherever you came from. Well, unfortunately, I was born and raised here in America, so that argument gets kind of old and silly real quick. You want to rewrite history? Then let's rewrite it. Be bold enough to standardize our tax system and stop with this sliding rule that you got going. Because the sliding rule isn't benefiting anyone but the wealthy. You want to keep America healthy? Then you have to make sure its citizenship is healthy. Right now, its citizenship is very sick and malnourished. America, of all places, shouldn't have a homeless person anywhere on the streets. Guess what? There's only one place in the world where you don't see a lot of homeless people all over the streets. Holland. I've been there. The one or two bums I saw, they were bums, but they weren't homeless. They had some place they could go. Only in America. We have tent cities all over the place. In wealthy places. How the hell you're gonna have that many homeless people? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because between the property taxes and the grocery taxes and the non-grocery taxes and the sales taxes and you know tax on tax. I'm running out of things here, but it's just ridiculous. Water bill, electric bill, gas bill, taxes are collected. Everything we pay for in America is basically taxed. So, how is it we're benefiting from being taxed? Excuse me, I had to wet my whistle there. We're Social Security was set up to help people in time of financial disaster. L, you guys want to do away with Medicaid and Medicare and all the programs underneath Social Security simply because people are sucking and draining the federal government with disability payments and welfare. Well, this is one of those demons that you guys started that's now coming back to bite you in the butt. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is coming back to bite you in the butt big time. Because you've had all of us paying into it, see? Now you want to come back and say, well, some of those payments were illegal? Well, then you need to refund us our money because you illegally collected it, the illegal payments. I mean, we have it so twisted here in America, people are believing that bull crap. I'm sorry. When I need unemployment and things like that, I can't get it. Why? Because the employer that caused the reason why I'm unemployed said, well, we had mass layoffs and there was nothing we could do about that. Okay, we filed Chapter 11. We filed Chapter 13. Great. So that leaves the average American workers something Trump would do, by the way. File for Chapter 11 and Chapter 13. Go out of business on that project. Okay. Now I don't have to pay anybody. And I get to keep all the money in my pocket. I even get money back. Oh, because I had a major loss in my business. Yeah, think about that. All you labor workers that were voting for him. He practically told you that when he addressed the people in Pittsburgh. He practically laid it out. Flat out said what he would do and laughed about it, and you all laughed right along with him. He practically told you to your face he was going to screw you over, and you just laughed right along with him. That tells you how much the man respects American people or Americans, period. He sees all American people making under $5 million a year useless. You're useless to him. If you're not making $500 million income, you're totally useless to him. When are people going to wake up and realize that? Only people he cares about is 500 million or more. If you got that kind of money, you're his kind of people. If you ain't got that kind of money, then he could care less. Oh, boo hoo. You should work harder. You should dig deeper. Dig, baby, dig. How's that going, Donald? What you digging? Oh, wait. You can't dig. What? Oh, well, you're doing away with that department, so we'll be digging soon. You just got to come up with a plan first. Hmm. If I did my schoolwork the way you plan these projects, I tell you, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I have to stop there. It just blows your mind. Everything you talk to this man about, well, he's working on a plan, or there'll be a plan down the line, and it's going to change everything. It's going to change everything around. This magic plan that he's working on, that is not quite there yet, but it's coming. Yeah, um, we can go 8 months from now. It'll still be coming. We're now 8 years away from when he first told us he had concepts of a plan for healthcare. Come this election, he mentioned that again about having concepts of a plan for healthcare. um, while putting down the other administration for not having any plans for healthcare. And when they were using the healthcare plan and had made amendments to it that was making it work properly. And the idiots voting for you, yes, I say idiots because you chose to be ignorant on the facts and vote for the man. Um, didn't bother to look up what you meant by saying you were going to get rid of affordable health care. Oops, they sorry they didn't do it before they elected you. Yes, they are. And they're going to be even sorrier as the year goes on, as more of our freedoms and amenities disappear. He's proven you can turn a white man into a slave. You people don't like to hear that, but hey, that's what he just did. He proved, yes, I can make slaves of white men. Hitler did it. Guess what? Welcome to the Fourth Reich. Revolt. Oh, yes. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Oh, ja. We're going to need to learn to speak German, Russian, and for all of you people that just was backing deporting all your Spanish friends and stuff and getting them out of here because they were illegal, you should have been learning some Spanish. And Chinese will definitely be on the menu since Russia been cozying up to China. Oh, yeah. We're not hearing too much about that little side stuff they got going on because we've been too busy dealing with all the crazy that you know who is doing, pretending like he's against those two major powers. Yeah. How's it working out, Donald? Are you feeling like a little warm on the hook in the big, big world? You should. Because you went waiting in there with your big boy pants on, forgetting that you're in Depends. Okay. And nobody wants to see that. It's and it's gotten fugly enough. I'm just wondering when the rest of America is gonna wake up and realize he's just turned your behinds out because as he gets rid of more and more what he calls illegal citizens, guess who all those farm worker jobs and stuff are going to have to go to? Because as he's gutting more and more departments of the federal government, yeah, you're going to have that many more people out in the world competing for your little low end paying jobs that will place you where? Oh, where the illegals used to have to work. Yeah, the fields of the farms and stuff. Yeah. It's coming. Don't think it isn't. Oh yeah, he sent a joke out to black people. Yeah, they send that cruel joke out saying, "Oh yeah, get ready to report to the fields and the farms and the this, that, and the other." And you know what my reply to all that crap was? Well, if you're gonna give me a job, give me a place to live, give me some food and water, then come get me. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. On that note, have a good night. In hope that all your blessings come true.